Build a mind that cannot break. Listen carefully. Every day, pressure, stress, and emotional chaos are trying to break you. They will test your limits, push you past your comfort, and expose every weakness you hide. But here's the truth. They only succeed if you let them. In the next hour, you will learn the exact mental strategies to armor your mind, to stop fear, doubt, and overwhelm in their tracks. By the end of this audiobook, you won't just survive stress, you will dominate it. This is your blueprint to a mind that cannot, will not, and will never break. Chapter 1. Stop proving and start doing. Listen carefully. This chapter is simple, but it's brutal. You've been wasting time trying to prove yourself. To who? To friends? To family? To strangers online? Stop. That's the trap. Every second you spend proving yourself is a second you're not executing, and execution is what separates winners from wannabes. Action beats intention, always. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how motivated you feel. It doesn't matter how much you know. What matters is what you do, what you produce, your results. That's it. You have a choice. You can spend your life performing for applause, or you can spend your life producing results. That's the key. One builds validation seekers, the other builds legends. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for approval. You don't need their permission. You don't need a thumbs up from the world. You don't need anyone to believe in you to start. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You need action. That's all. Take the first step. Take the next step. Take the next step after that. Every step you take compounds. Every step you take creates momentum. Every step you take separates you from those still trying to prove themselves. Here's the truth. People who seek approval are weak. They are mentally fragile. They hinge their self-worth on applause. They hinge their confidence on others. And here's what always happens. They fail. The world doesn't hand out trophies for trying. It doesn't reward your good intentions. It rewards results. Do you understand? Results. Not excuses, not intentions, not plans. Results. That's the key. You have a choice. You can stay small, you can stay safe, you can stay busy chasing validation, or you can start doing, start producing, start building, start executing. That's where real power comes from. Action beats intention. Let's break this down. Action beats intention every time. You can have ideas all day long. You can plan all night long. You can dream big. You can envision the perfect life. You can write down your goals in neat little notebooks. But if you never act, nothing happens. Nothing. Think of the entrepreneurs you admire. Look at the millionaires, the innovators, the disruptors. They didn't sit around thinking. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't try to convince the world that they were smart. They acted. They failed. They learned. They acted again. They executed while others were debating. That's why they dominate. That's why their results speak louder than anyone's opinions. Do first, validate later. Results never lie. That is the mantra of every high achiever. Repeat it to yourself. Say it out loud. Drill it into your brain. Do first, validate later. Results never lie. The trap of proving yourself. Now, let's talk about the trap. Most people spend their lives proving themselves, proving they are smart, proving they are capable, proving they are worthy, proving they can do it. Here's the brutal truth. Nobody cares. Most people are too busy proving themselves to even notice you, and the few who do notice, they will judge you anyway. Every time you try to prove yourself, you give your power away. You hand it to others. You make your worth dependent on their opinions. That's weak. That's small. That's not what you're here for. You are not here to be liked. You are not here to be praised. You are here to produce, to execute, to dominate, to create results. That's it. Let me give you a real-world example. Look at the tech world. Look at Elon Musk. He didn't build SpaceX to prove he could. He built it to launch rockets. He didn't build Tesla to prove people wrong. He built it to build electric cars. He acted. He executed. He failed. He learned. He tried again. Every day he produces results. Every day. That's why he succeeds. Do you see the difference? It's not about proving anything. It's about discipline. It's about action. That's the key.
Stop excusing. Start executing. Here's the harsh truth. Most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they are busy making excuses. I'll start tomorrow. I need more information. I need permission. Stop. Excuses are poison. Execution is medicine. You have a choice. Excuse yourself out of life or execute your way into dominance. That's the key. Here's your instruction. Right now, make a list. Not a plan, not a spreadsheet, a list. One thing you can do today to move forward. One action, just one, and then do it. No excuses, no hesitation, no permission required. Done. That's how you start. That's how action beats intention. You have a choice. You can sit on your hands and wait for approval, or you can take massive, undeniable action. That's the key. Take action. Results don't wait for you. Results reward those who act. You don't need their permission. You don't need validation. You need execution. Reinforce the mindset. Let's reinforce this. Repeat after me. I do first. I validate later. Results never lie. I do first. I validate later. Results never lie. Say it 3 times. Internalize it. This is the mindset that separates people who break under pressure from people who build unbreakable minds. Execution builds confidence. Execution builds momentum. Execution builds dominance. Not words, not intentions, execution. That's the key. Every time you feel the urge to explain yourself, stop. Every time you feel the need to justify your actions, stop. Every time you want someone's approval before moving, stop. Do first, validate later. Results never lie. Do it again tomorrow. Do it again the next day. Repeat. That is how you grow. That is how you dominate. That is how you build a mind that cannot break. Behavioral instructions. Now, here's what you must do. 1. Stop seeking validation. Delete the likes, ignore the critics, silence the naysayers. They don't matter. You matter. Results matter. Execution matters. 2. Act decisively. Every day, complete at least one high-value task that moves you forward. One task. No excuses, no perfection required. 3. Track results, not applause. Measure progress by what you produce, not by how others react. Your growth is internal. Your strength is self-proven. You have a choice. You either keep proving yourself and stay weak, or you start doing and become unstoppable. That's the key. Conclusion and transition. You see, proving yourself is a trap. Execution is freedom. Execution is power. Execution is dominance. You mastered the first step, understanding that action beats intention. You don't need their permission. You don't need validation. You don't need approval. You just need to act. Now that you've taken the first step toward building an unbreakable mind, let's move to the next level. The true currency of your life isn't applause, it's control, focus, and self-mastery. Chapter 2. The Silent Cost of Seeking Validation. Listen closely. This is where most people lose. Most people spend their lives chasing approval. They chase likes. They chase compliments. They chase recognition. They chase praise. And every second they spend chasing validation is a second stolen from their growth. Every second. That's the key. You have a choice. You can continue seeking approval. You can continue letting others decide your worth. Or you can stop. You can take control. You can act on your own terms. That's the difference between weakness and strength.
That's the difference between being average and being unstoppable. Why seeking validation is poison. Here's the truth. Validation is a trap. It is invisible. It is silent. It creeps in through every comment, every opinion, every judgment, and every comparison. You don't even notice it until you're consumed by it. When you chase approval, you lose your energy. Your focus gets scattered. You spend more time thinking about what others will say than what you should do. You compromise your decisions. You dilute your vision. You water down your ambition. Think about it. How often have you held back because you were worried about what someone might think? How often have you doubted yourself because the world didn't nod in approval? That's exactly the problem. That's the silent cost. You have a choice. You can let validation control you, or you can control yourself. That's the key. The real-world consequences. Let me give you a real-world example. Employees who chase praise often fail to rise. They focus on what their boss wants to hear. They prioritize popularity over results. They water down their ideas. They avoid risk. And while they're busy performing for applause, real leaders, those who focus inward, who take action without seeking approval, are quietly building their empires. Look at the world's top performers, entrepreneurs, and athletes. Do you think they spend time seeking validation? No. They focus on mastery. They focus on results. They focus on impact. They don't wait for applause. They produce anyway. That's the key. You have a choice. You can be distracted by praise and judgment, or you can be obsessed with excellence and results. You choose.
The psychological drain. Seeking validation doesn't just waste time. It drains you psychologically. It makes your mind small. It makes your decisions weak. You second-guess yourself constantly. You overanalyze every interaction. You hedge your bets. You conform. You shrink. Every time you seek validation, you are outsourcing your self-worth. You are handing your power to someone else. That's dangerous. That's weak. That's not how mental toughness is built. It's not about being liked. It's about being disciplined. It's not about approval. It's about consistency. It's not about recognition. It's about results. Repeat this to yourself. Internalize it. You have a choice. You can let validation drain your life, or you can reclaim your power. That's the key. Behavioral instructions. Breaking free. Here's how you break free from the validation trap. 1. Audit your actions. Notice every time you do something just to get approval. Catch yourself. Recognize it. Stop it immediately. That's the first step. 2. Focus on results, not reactions. Measure progress by what you accomplish, not by how people react. Your growth is your responsibility, not their applause. 3. Strengthen internal validation. Start every day with self-affirmation. Remind yourself, I don't need their permission. I am enough. I act first, results later. Repeat this mantra constantly. You have a choice. You can continue seeking approval. You can continue letting external voices control your mind, or you can reclaim control. That's the key. Reinforcing the mindset. Repeat this to yourself now. Validation is a trap. Freedom comes when I rely on myself. I act on my own terms. I act without permission. I act without approval. I act and results will follow. Say it out loud. Say it 3 times. Let it sink in. Remember, the world will always judge. It will always have opinions. It will always try to control your choices through praise and criticism. That's inevitable. But here's the power move. You can ignore it. You can focus on your work. You can focus on your results. You can focus on your discipline. That's how you build a mind that cannot break. Real-world examples of liberation. Look at the artists, the inventors, and the high achievers who didn't chase approval. Banksy didn't ask the permission. Elon Musk didn't wait for applause. Serena Williams didn't care about the critics. They acted, they focused, they delivered, and the world eventually had no choice but to notice. That's the difference. They acted first. They validated later. Do you see the pattern? You don't need their permission. You don't need their praise. You don't need their approval. You need execution. You need discipline. You need results. That's the key. Practical steps to internal freedom. 1. Eliminate comparison. Comparison is the fastest route to seeking validation. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop scrolling, stop scrolling, stop scrolling. Focus on your journey. 2. Journal your progress daily. Track your wins privately. Do not post, do not share. Your growth is internal. Internal validation is stronger than external applause. 3. Act decisively in silence. Complete one high-value task every day without announcing it. Watch your confidence grow. Watch your mind harden. Watch results accumulate. You have a choice. You can remain trapped in the approval loop, or you can free yourself and act independently. That's the key. Conclusion and transition. Here's the brutal truth. Seeking validation silently destroys your potential. It steals your energy, it corrupts your decisions, and it weakens your mind. But freedom comes when you stop. Freedom comes when you focus inward. Freedom comes when you act for yourself and yourself only. You mastered the lesson of internal strength. You understood that validation is a trap. Now it's time to embrace pressure, stress, and challenge. Because mental toughness isn't just about self-reliance, it's about thriving under pressure. Chapter 3. Embrace pressure or collapse under it. Listen closely. Here's the truth you must face. Pressure is coming. Stress is inevitable. Challenges will hit you when you least expect them. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. Circumstances will demand more than you feel capable of giving, and most people will break. Most people will crumble. Most people will fold under pressure. But you don't have to. You have a choice. You can resist and collapse, or you can accept, adapt, and grow stronger. That's the key. Pressure is not the enemy. Let's make this clear. Pressure is not the enemy. Stress is not the enemy. Challenges are not obstacles to avoid. They are your proving ground. They are your test. They are your chance to show who you really are. You have a choice. You can view pressure as a threat or as an opportunity. That's the key. Think about athletes at the highest level. The world watches the Olympics, the finals, the championship games. The pressure is immense. The stakes are enormous. Yet the best athletes thrive. Why? They embrace pressure. They welcome it. They see it as fuel. Pressure is your friend. Pressure is your proving ground. Repeat it. Pressure is your friend. Pressure is your proving ground. Why resistance makes you weak. Now, let's talk about resistance. Most people resist stress. They avoid challenges. They complain. They procrastinate. They seek comfort. And here's the brutal truth. Resistance makes you weak. Every time you run from stress, every time you avoid pressure, every time you shrink under expectations, your mind loses strength. Your resilience diminishes. You are training yourself to break. You are teaching yourself that you cannot handle adversity. You have a choice. You can resist and remain weak, or you can embrace pressure and grow stronger. That's the key. Acceptance builds strength. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It doesn't mean weakness. Acceptance means recognizing that pressure exists. Acceptance means meeting challenges head-on. Acceptance means saying, yes, this is hard. I will not back down. I will not collapse. Real-world example. Think of Navy SEALs.
Their training is designed to crush them. The stakes are high. The conditions are brutal. Most quit. Most break. But those who accept the pressure, who welcome the discomfort, who push through, these are the ones who succeed. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about discipline under pressure. It's not about comfort. It's about toughness. It's not about avoiding stress. It's about dominating it. Repeat this mantra. Pressure is your friend. Pressure is your proving ground. The behavioral transformation. Here's what you must do to embrace pressure. 1. Step into discomfort intentionally. Don't wait for stress to find you. Seek challenges that make you uncomfortable. This is how you train your mind. 2. Reframe the situation. See every pressure-filled moment as an opportunity to grow. Ask yourself, what can I learn? How can I prove myself? 3. Control your response. You cannot always control the situation, but you can control how you react. Choose calm, choose clarity, choose discipline. You have a choice. You can collapse under pressure, or you can use it to build strength. That's the key.
Repetition from mental conditioning. Let's reinforce this. Repeat after me. Pressure is my friend. Pressure is my proving ground. I will not break. I will not bow. I will not quit. Say it 3 times. Say it out loud. Let it sink into your bones. This is not empty motivation. This is mental conditioning. Your brain will begin to see pressure as an ally instead of an enemy. Your mind will begin to adapt. Your will begin to harden. That's how unbreakable minds are built. Real-world example. Thriving under pressure. Consider Serena Williams. Every Grand Slam match, every final, every championship comes with immense pressure. Millions watching, expectations sky high. She could crumble. She doesn't. She embraces the pressure. She channels it. She dominates. That's the key. Pressure is her friend. Pressure is her proving ground. Or think of emergency responders, firefighters, paramedics, soldiers. They thrive under life or death stress because they trained their minds to embrace pressure. They don't complain, they act, they focus, they perform. That's discipline. That's strength. That's unbreakable mental toughness.
Practical exercises to master pressure. Here's how you can apply this today. 1. Daily exposure to stress. Take on tasks that make you uncomfortable. Speak in front of a group. Take responsibility for a difficult project. Push your limits intentionally. 2. Visualization under stress. Imagine high-pressure scenarios. Practice calm responses. Rehearse mastery. Condition your mind. 3. Immediate reflection and reinforcement. After every stressful moment, ask yourself, did I embrace this? Did I act with discipline? Did I grow stronger? This builds mental resilience. You have a choice. You can shy away from pressure, or you can step into it repeatedly, deliberately, and deliberately grow stronger. That's the key. Mindset reset. Pressure is inevitable. Stress will come. Challenges will hit. You cannot stop them. But you can stop yourself from collapsing. You can stop yourself from letting fear dictate your decisions. You can stop yourself from giving in. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about mastering your response. It's not about comfort. It's about dominance. It's not about weakness. It's about discipline. Repeat this mantra often. Pressure is your friend. Pressure is your proving ground. Transition to next chapter. You've learned the brutal truth. Resistance weakens, acceptance strengthens. You've learned the strategy. Embrace pressure, thrive under it, grow stronger every time. You have started building resilience. You have started building mental toughness. Now, it's time to take that toughness to the next level. Because focus under pressure is nothing without control over your mind. You must build armor around your thoughts and sharpen your focus to a razor's edge. Chapter 4. Harden your focus like steel. Listen closely. This chapter is one of the most important in building an unbreakable mind. Most people fail not because they lack talent, skill, or intelligence. They fail because they are scattered. Their attention is everywhere but on the task that matters. They chase distractions. They chase novelty. They chase the easy escape. That ends now. You have a choice. You can allow distractions to steal your power, or you can harden your focus and dominate. That's the key. Why focus determines success? Focus is the currency of achievement. Every action you take has limited time and energy. Every day is 24 hours. How you spend that time defines your results. Distractions, emails, notifications, gossip, meetings that don't matter, endless scrolling, all of it drains your energy and attention. It fragments your mind. It weakens your resolve. You have a choice. You can let your mind wander, or you can control it. That's the key. Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Nikola Tesla. Do you think they allowed distractions to rule their lives? No, they mastered focus. They sacrificed comfort. They eliminated noise. They put everything into what mattered most. Every breakthrough they created, every empire they built, came from single-minded, ruthless focus. Focus, focus, focus. Every second counts. Repeat that mantra. Every second counts. Every second counts. The cost of fragmented attention. Every distraction costs you more than time. It costs your energy. It costs clarity. It costs momentum. Think about this. If you check your phone 5 times per hour, that's 5 disruptions. Each disruption fragments your brain. It takes you 10 minutes to regain full focus. That adds up. Hours wasted every day. Weeks are wasted every month. Months are wasted every year. And what do you have at the end? Nothing. That's the cost of distraction. You have a choice. You can let these tiny interruptions control your life, or you can take command of your attention. That's the key. Discipline over willpower. Here's the truth. Willpower is weak. Willpower fades. Discipline is strong. Discipline doesn't rely on feeling motivated. Discipline doesn't wait for inspiration. Discipline is a system you build. Discipline is a habit you enforce. That's the difference. It's not about resisting distraction once. It's about building a mind that doesn't notice distractions at all. That's the key. The way to do this is simple, but not easy. 1. Define your most important task, MIT, every day. Before you open your phone, before you check email, decide what matters most. 2. Eliminate low-value tasks. If it doesn't move the needle, delete it, delegate it, or ignore it. 3. Time block like a machine. Schedule deep work sessions. No notifications, no interruptions, no excuses. You have a choice. You can scatter your energy across 100 small tasks, or you can pour all your power into one mission. That's the key. Repetition builds mental muscle. Focus is like a muscle. Every time you resist distraction, you grow stronger. Every time you control your attention, your mind hardens. Every time you execute without wavering, you reinforce the habit. Repeat this mantra. Focus, focus, focus. Every second counts. Say it. Say it 3 times. Say it again every morning before work. Say it before any task that matters. Every second you spend focused compounds.
Every second you waste in distraction compounds too, against you. That's the difference. That's the key.
Real-world examples of ruthless focus. Look at Elon Musk during Tesla and SpaceX. He slept on the floor of the factory. He sacrificed everything that wasn't essential. He ignored distractions. He focused only on production, design, and execution. That's how rockets are launched. That's how cars rolled off the line. That's how empires are built. Or Steve Jobs. He eliminated noise relentlessly. He focused on the product, the design, the experience. He cut out anything that didn't matter. He said no more than anyone. That's the key. Focus is power. Focus is freedom. Focus is dominance. You have a choice. You can scatter yourself like everyone else, or you can focus like a laser and achieve what others dream about. That's the key. Behavioral instructions to build unbreakable focus. Here's what you must do today. 1. Audit your distractions. Write down everything that pulls your attention away. Social media, news, notifications. Kill them, delete, silence, remove. You have a choice. You don't need their permission. Take control. That's the key. 2. Deep work blocks. Set 90 to 120 minutes of uninterrupted work on your most important task. No phone, no chat, no email, just execution. That's how you train your brain. That's how focus becomes discipline. That's how focus becomes discipline. 3. Single task relentlessly. Stop multitasking. Stop hopping between projects. Finish one thing before moving to the next. Completion builds power. Completion builds momentum. Completion builds confidence. Repeat. Focus, focus, focus. Every second counts. The mindset of a focused mind. Focus is not about working harder. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters with absolute intensity. It's about ignoring the noise. It's about protecting your energy. It's about building habits that reinforce attention. It's not about talent. It's about discipline. It's not about motivation. It's about action. It's not about time. It's about how you use every second. That's the key. You have a choice. You can let your attention fragment, or you can harden it like steel. You can become unstoppable. You can dominate your life. You can build a mind that cannot break. That's the key. Practical exercises for listeners. Morning focus ritual. Start every day with 15 minutes of uninterrupted work on your most important task. No phone, no interruptions, pure focus. Distraction log. Every time you notice your mind wandering, write it down. Reflect nightly. Adjust. Kill the recurring distractions. End-of-day reflection. Ask, did I spend my seconds wisely today? Did I pour my energy into what matters most? Did I protect my focus? Track, adjust, repeat. You have a choice. You can continue letting distractions dictate your results, or you can protect your attention like a fortress. That's the key. Conclusion and transition. Focus is the foundation of an unbreakable mind. Distractions destroy strength. Single-minded attention builds it. Execution without distraction breeds results. You have mastered the lesson. Every second counts. Every second matters. Every second of focus compounds. Now that your mind is sharpening like steel, it's time to protect it further, because emotional resilience and self-control are worthless without control over your inner dialogue. You must master your mind internally as well as externally. Chapter 5. The Lies Your Mind Tells You. Listen carefully. Your mind is not your friend. At least, not all the time. It whispers doubts.
It feeds fears. It invents limits that don't exist. It tells you you're not ready, you're not capable, you'll fail. And most people believe it. Most people obey it. Most people let these lies dictate their lives. That ends today. You have a choice. You can obey the lies, or you can act anyway. That's the key. Recognize the lies. The first step is awareness. Your mind lies constantly. It distorts reality. It exaggerates risk. It diminishes opportunity. It focuses on failure instead of potential. You have a choice. You can let these lies control your decisions, or you can see them for what they are, illusions designed to stop you. That's the key. Think of fear. Fear is a powerful liar. It tells you you can't do it. It's too hard. You'll be embarrassed. But fear is not reality. Fear is imagination. Fear is a story your brain is telling you to protect you from discomfort. It's not true. You have a choice. You can obey fear, or you can act anyway. That's the key. Real-world examples of ignoring mental lies. Look at soldiers in combat. They face life-or-death situations. Their minds scream, you can't survive, you'll fail, you'll die. And yet, they move forward, they fight, they win. Their minds lie, but their actions decide reality. Your mind lies, you act anyway. You win anyway. Repeat it. Look at CEOs and entrepreneurs. Every successful business leader faces self-doubt and fear. They question decisions, they fear failure, they feel unworthy. And yet, they act, they execute, they take risks, they build empires. Your mind lies, you act anyway. You win anyway. Repeat it. Look at survivors, people who have endured trauma, disaster, or illness. Their minds screamed for them to give up. Their minds told them it was impossible. And yet, they survived, they thrived, they rebuilt. That's the power of acting despite the lies. Your mind lies, you act anyway. You win anyway. Repeat it. You have a choice. You can surrender to the lies, or you can act anyway. That's the key. The cost of believing your mind. Believing every thought your mind generates is dangerous. Self-doubt limits you. Fear paralyzes you. Imagined obstacles stop you before you even try. Every time you obey a mental lie, you shrink. You reduce your potential. You give away your power. Here's the brutal truth. Your mind wants comfort. Your mind wants safety. It wants to keep you small. It wants to avoid failure. That's why it lies. It tells you you're not ready. It tells you to wait. It tells you to quit. But listen closely. The only way to grow is to disobey the lies. The only way to win is to act anyway. That's the key. You have a choice. You can follow the lies, or you can act anyway. That's the key. How to act anyway. Here's what you must do. 1. Name the lie. Every time self-doubt or fear strikes, identify it. Say out loud, "This is a lie my mind is telling me." Naming it strips it of power. 2. Move despite fear. Take action while your mind is screaming stop. Small steps at first, then bigger steps. Momentum kills the lie. Action defeats fear. 3. Repeat mantras for reinforcement. Say, "My mind lies, I act anyway, I win anyway." Repeat it 3 times. Repeat it daily. Make it a habit. You have a choice. You can obey the lies, or you can act anyway. That's the key.
Repetition builds resistance. Mental lies are persistent. They will return. They will whisper constantly. You must be relentless. You must reinforce the truth with action. You must refuse to obey every thought that seeks to weaken you. Repeat after me. Your mind lies. You act anyway. You win anyway. Your mind lies. You act anyway. You win anyway. Let this mantra sink into your bones. Let it echo in your mind during every decision, every challenge, every moment of doubt. That's how you build mental resilience. That's how you harden your mind. That's how you build a mind that cannot break. Behavioral exercises to master your mind. 1. Daily reflection. Write down the lies you told yourself today. How did you respond? How did you act anyway? Analyze patterns. Learn. Adjust. 2. Fear exposure. Intentionally face small fears each day. Call that person. Speak in front of a group. Submit your work. Action overcomes imagination. 3. Visualization. Imagine your mind telling you lies. See yourself acting anyway. See yourself winning anyway. Mental rehearsal strengthens real-world courage. You have a choice. You can continue obeying every fearful, doubtful, limiting thought, or you can take action anyway. That's the key. The lies are not facts. Remember, thoughts are not facts. Your fear is not reality. Your doubt is not true. Your hesitation is not a warning. It's a barrier. It's an invention of your mind to keep you small. You have the power to break it. You have the power to act. You have the power to win. That's the key. It's not about eliminating fear. It's about embracing discipline. It's not about removing doubt. It's about executing anyway. It's not about escaping mental struggle. It's about mastering your mind. Repeat. Your mind lies. You act anyway. You win anyway.
Transition to next chapter. You've learned the hard truth. Your mind is a liar. Self-doubt, fear, and imagined limits are illusions. Acting anyway is your power. Acting anyway is your discipline. Acting anyway is your strength. You mastered the internal battlefield. Now it's time to armor yourself emotionally. External pressures will try to shake you. Criticism, chaos, failure, they are inevitable. Mental toughness is not enough without emotional control. Chapter 6. Build emotional armor. Listen closely. Life will throw chaos at you. People will criticize, events will spiral, plans will fail, disasters will strike. You cannot control what happens, but you can control how you respond. That's the key. Emotional mastery is not optional. It is survival. You have a choice. You can react to every insult, every setback, every disappointment. Or you can observe, stay calm, and act with precision. That's the difference between being broken and being unbreakable. That's the key. Emotions are energy. Here's the truth. Emotions are energy. They are powerful. They can drive you forward, or they can consume you. If you allow fear, anger, or frustration to control your actions, you lose. You give away your power. You let external chaos dictate your life. But if you channel emotion, if you control it, it becomes fuel. It becomes a focus. It becomes a strength. Emotions are energy. Channel them. Do not let them channel you. Repeat it. Emotions are energy. Channel them. Do not let them channel you. Detach without becoming cold. Building emotional armor doesn't mean becoming numb. It doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It doesn't mean pretending you don't care. It means detaching from external chaos. It means observing the storm without letting it touch your mind. Think of negotiators handling hostage situations. Their lives depend on remaining calm while tension escalates. They see the chaos, they assess it,
They act with clarity. They do not react emotionally. That's emotional armor. That's mental control. That's unbreakable discipline. You have a choice. You can be a victim of your emotions, or you can be a master of them. That's the key. The cost of emotional reactivity. Every time you react impulsively, you pay a price. Anger leads to mistakes. Fear leads to hesitation. Frustration leads to regret. Weak emotional control destroys relationships, careers, and opportunities. Think of an emergency responder in a crisis. If they let panic take over, lives are lost. But those who remain calm, who channel their energy into action, succeed. They protect, they lead, they survive. That's the difference. That's emotional armor. That's the key. You have a choice. You can let emotions run your life, or you can channel them. That's the key.
Behavioral steps to build emotional armor. Here's what you must do to develop unbreakable emotional resilience. 1. Observe before reacting. Pause. Take a breath. Label the emotion. Say, this is fear. This is anger. This is frustration. Observation creates distance. Distance creates control. 2. Channel energy into action. Turn emotional intensity into productivity. Anger? Use it to drive focused work. Fear? Use it to prepare. Frustration? Use it to strategize. Emotions are fuel, not a leash. 3. Practice daily emotional drills. Expose yourself to minor stress intentionally. Tough conversations, cold showers, difficult workouts. Every controlled stress session builds armor for real chaos. You have a choice. You can be reactive, or you can be intentional. That's the key. Repetition and reinforcement. Emotional control is a habit. You must practice it relentlessly. Repeat these phrases often. Emotions are energy. Channel them. Do not let them channel you. I observe. I do not react. I act with clarity. I control my mind. I control my energy. I control my life. Say them every morning. Say them before stressful tasks. Say them in the moment when chaos arises. Repetition builds neural pathways. Repetition builds resilience. Repetition builds armor. That's the key. Real-world examples of mastery under pressure. Emergency responders handle life and death situations calmly. They control their breath. They assess. They act. They survive. Hostage negotiators remain calm under extreme tension. They do not panic. They do not lash out. They channel every ounce of emotional energy into strategy. Elite athletes thrive under intense pressure. Crowds roar. Stakes are high. They focus. They control fear. They channel emotion into performance. That's emotional armor. That's discipline. That's a strength. You have a choice. You can let chaos control you, or you can observe, channel, and act. That's the key. Practical daily exercises. 1. Breath control under stress. When confronted with frustration or anger, take 5 deep breaths before reacting. Feel the pause. Strength grows in the pause. 2. Mindful observation. Spend 10 minutes each day observing thoughts and emotions without judgment. Witness them. Let them pass. Train detachment. 3. Channeling exercise. Write down a recent emotional trigger. Then write an action plan using that emotion constructively. Transform energy into results. You have a choice. You can react like everyone else, or you can control your mind and channel your emotions into unbreakable power. That's the key. The mindset of emotional armor. Remember, external chaos is inevitable. Criticism, failure, loss, they will come. The difference is how you respond. Armor does not mean numbness. Armor means mastery. Armor means discipline. Armor means resilience. Repeat often, emotions are energy. Channel them. Do not let them channel you. Internalize it. Let it guide every action. Let it sharpen every decision. That's how you remain unbreakable. That's how you protect your mind. That's how you dominate your life. You have a choice. You can surrender to every emotional spike, or you can rise above. That's the key. Transition to next chapter. You've learned how to armor yourself emotionally. You've learned to observe, channel, and act without being controlled by chaos. You've built resilience under stress. Now it's time to master the most dangerous battlefield, your habits. Because without consistent, disciplined habits, mental strength and emotional armor crumble. Master your routine. Master your life. Chapter 7. Obsess over consistency, not motivation. Listen carefully. Motivation is a lie. It comes and goes. It fluctuates. One day you feel inspired. The next day, nothing. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect energy, the perfect moment. And while they wait, life passes them by. That ends today. You have a choice. You can rely on fleeting feelings, or you can obsess over consistency. That's the key. Why motivation fails? Motivation is temporary. It's unreliable. It cannot be counted on. It is a spark, not a flame. It can fire you up one day and abandon you the next. People who depend on motivation start strong and fade fast. Results never come from feelings. Results come from disciplined, repeated action. You have a choice. You can wait for motivation to appear, or you can act consistently, regardless of how you feel. That's the key. Think about it. Athletes train every day, even when tired. Entrepreneurs work tirelessly, even when discouraged. Artists create, even when uninspired. Motivation is irrelevant. Consistency builds unstoppable mental resilience. Repeat it. Consistency builds unstoppable mental resilience.
The power of showing up every day. Here's the truth. Showing up is everything. It compounds. It creates momentum. One day alone does little. 10 days builds habit. 100 days build identity. 1,000 days build mastery. Real-world example. Michael Jordan didn't make every basket by being motivated. He practiced relentlessly, day in, day out, rain or shine, inspiration or not. Elon Musk works long hours on Tesla and SpaceX, not because he's motivated every morning, but because he shows up every day to do the work. That's the key. You have a choice. You can wait for inspiration, or you can show up every day. No excuses, no exceptions. That's the key. Consistency builds mental strength. Consistency isn't just about results, it's about building your mind. Every time you do something repeatedly, even when you don't feel like it, you strengthen discipline. You prove to yourself that your actions don't depend on emotion. You prove that your will is stronger than your feelings. Repeat this. Show up every day. No excuses, no exceptions. Say it 3 times. Let it become a mantra. Let it guide every action. Let it become your identity. That's the key.
The cost of inconsistency. Inconsistency kills potential. It wastes talent. It destroys momentum. Every time you skip a session, procrastinate, or wait for the right moment, you weaken your mental resilience. You teach your mind that excuses are acceptable. You train yourself to fail. Imagine a world-class performer. They train daily, regardless of motivation. Now imagine someone equally talented but inconsistent. Who succeeds? The consistent one,
every time. Results are never accidental. They are built through disciplined repetition. That's the key. You have a choice. You can be inconsistent, or you can show up every day. That's the key. Behavioral instructions for building consistency. Here's what you must do. 1. Set a non-negotiable schedule. Decide what matters most and do it daily without compromise. Make it sacred. No excuses, no exceptions. 2. Track every action. Write down what you did each day. Visual progress reinforces habit. Momentum grows. Discipline solidifies. 3. Ignore feelings. Don't wait to feel like it. Act first. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Repeat, show up. Every day, no excuses, no exceptions. You have a choice. You can wait for inspiration, or you can commit to consistency. That's the key. Repetition builds unstoppable resilience. Consistency trains more than skill. It trains your mind. Every day you act without needing motivation, your mental resilience grows. You build confidence. You build toughness. You build identity. Your actions define you, not your feelings. Repeat this mantra constantly. Show up every day. No excuses, no exceptions. Consistency beats motivation every time. I act, I repeat, I build unstoppable momentum. Let this guide every decision. Let it guide every action. Let it define your life. That's the key. Real-world examples of daily commitment. Serena Williams practices relentlessly even when uninspired. Tiger Woods trained in extreme discipline, not waiting for motivation. Writers like Stephen King write daily, rain or shine. Entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk act daily, relentlessly, regardless of emotion. Do you see the pattern? Consistency beats motivation. Daily repetition builds mastery. Daily action builds mental toughness. Daily commitment builds identity. That's the key. You have a choice. You can rely on fleeting inspiration, or you can obsess over consistency. That's the key. Practical exercises for obsessive consistency. Create a daily ritual. Identify the single most important task and commit to it every day, no matter what. Measure progress visibly. Use a calendar, journal, or tracker to mark every completed action. Momentum compounds when visible. Reward discipline, not emotion. Celebrate showing up, not feeling good. Reinforce habit over feelings. You have a choice. You can wait for motivation to appear, or you can act consistently, every day, no matter what. That's the key. Mindset reset for consistency. Remember, motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. It cannot be trusted. Action is reliable. Discipline is reliable. Showing up every day is reliable. That's the foundation of mental toughness. That's how unbreakable minds are built. Repeat often. Show up every day. No excuses, no exceptions. Internalize it. Let it guide every move. Let it define your identity. That's the key. Transition to next chapter. You've learned that consistent action beats motivation. You've learned that discipline is stronger than feeling inspired. You've built habits of showing up. Now it's time to take your consistency and sharpen it into focused intensity, because without focus, daily action becomes routine without results. Focus multiplies consistency. Focus turns effort into domination. Chapter 8. The Brutal Power of Self-Accountability. Listen carefully. Excuses are poison. Blaming circumstances, blaming people, blaming fate, it's easy. Most people do it every day. They shift responsibility, they dodge consequences, they avoid hard truths.
and they fail. That ends today. You have a choice. You can blame the world, or you can own everything. That's the key. Self-accountability is brutal. It is relentless. It is uncomfortable. It forces you to look in the mirror and face reality. There are no shortcuts, no excuses, no blaming others. You are the architect of every result in your life. You are accountable. Your results are proof. Excuses are irrelevant. Repeat it. You are accountable. Your results are proof. Excuses are irrelevant. Stop blaming. Start owning. Here's the truth. Life is unfair. People are unreliable. Circumstances change. Crises happen. But none of this matters if you refuse to take responsibility. Excuses will never create results. Blame will never create power. Ownership does. You have a choice. You can point fingers and shrink, or you can take ownership and grow. That's the key. Look at great leaders. They rise because they accept full responsibility for everything. Wins, they celebrate. Failures, they analyze, correct, and act again. They don't whine, they don't blame, they own it all. You are accountable. Your results are proof. Excuses are irrelevant. Repeat it. You are accountable. Your results are proof. Excuses are irrelevant.
The cost of avoiding accountability. Avoiding accountability is expensive. It destroys trust. It limits growth. It keeps you stuck. Every time you blame others, you give away your power. You teach your mind to be weak. You train yourself to fail. Imagine an entrepreneur who blames the economy for a failed business. They will never learn. They will repeat mistakes. They will stay stuck. Now imagine an entrepreneur who owns every decision, every mistake, every misstep. They learn, they improve, they dominate. That's the difference. That's self-accountability. That's the key. You have a choice. You can hide behind excuses, or you can own it all. That's the key. Behavioral steps to build accountability. Here's what you must do. 1. Own every outcome. Stop blaming, start evaluating. Ask, what part of this result is mine? What could I have done differently? Brutal honesty is required. No excuses, no deflection. 2. Measure and record results. Track wins and losses. Analyze patterns. Accountability is visible. Momentum grows when results are seen clearly. 3. Create corrective action plans. Failures are lessons, not disasters. Decide, what will I do differently next time? Then execute. Ownership requires action. You have a choice. You can avoid responsibility, or you can own it, every time, no matter what. That's the key.
Repetition builds mental discipline. Accountability is a habit. It must be reinforced relentlessly. Repeat these phrases daily. You are accountable. Your results are proof. Excuses are irrelevant. I own my life. I own my results. I accept responsibility. Blame is for the weak. Ownership is for the strong. Repeat it in the morning. Repeat it before important tasks. Repeat it whenever you feel like pointing fingers. Repetition builds mental toughness. Repetition builds discipline. Repetition builds an unbreakable mind. That's the key. Real-world examples of accountability. Leaders rise by owning everything. Look at Jeff Bezos. Amazon succeeded because he accepted responsibility for failures and learned from them relentlessly. Look at military leaders. They survive and win because they own outcomes, regardless of chaos. They don't blame subordinates, weather, or fate. They own the mission. They adjust. They execute. Look at athletes like Tom Brady. Every interception, Every missed play, every loss, they take full responsibility. No excuses. They analyze, they improve, they win again. You are accountable. Your results are proof. Excuses are irrelevant. Repeat it. You have a choice. You can shift blame, or you can own everything. That's the key. Practical exercises for self-accountability. 1. Daily review of actions and outcomes. Every night, write down 3 things you did well and 3 things you could improve. Be brutally honest. 2. Set measurable goals with clear metrics. Track progress. If you fail to meet a metric, own it immediately. Correct and execute. 3. Accountability partner. Share results with someone you trust. External reflection reinforces internal ownership. You have a choice. You can hide in excuses, or you can accept responsibility fully. That's the key.
The mindset of brutal ownership. Brutal self-accountability is not comfortable. It's uncomfortable, relentless, and exacting. But it's the only path to freedom. Freedom from excuses, freedom from weakness, freedom from the chains of circumstance. It's not about blaming yourself unnecessarily. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about discipline. It's about control. It's about mastery. Repeat often, you are accountable. Your results are proof. Excuses are irrelevant. Internalize it. Let it guide every action. Let it sharpen every decision. That's the key. You have a choice. You can blame life, or you can own it all. That's the key. Transition to next chapter. You've learned the brutal truth. Ownership beats excuses. Accountability builds strength. Discipline defines your results. You've started to master your mind, your emotions, your habits, and now your actions. The next step is control over your environment and your time. Because discipline can falter if chaos dominates your surroundings. To become unbreakable, you must impose structure externally as well as internally. Chapter 9. Turn adversity into your advantage. Listen closely. Life is hard. Life is unfair. Challenges will come. Setbacks will hit. Failures will appear when you least expect them. Most people crumble under pressure. Most people see obstacles as dead ends. Most people give up. That ends today. You have a choice. You can see adversity as a threat, or you can see it as fuel. That's the key. Every challenge is raw material. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is a stepping stone. You don't need permission to rise above difficulty. You don't need permission to turn obstacles into opportunities. Repeat it. Obstacles aren't obstacles. They are opportunities. Use them. Grow stronger. The truth about adversity. Here's the truth. Adversity is inevitable. You cannot control life, but you can control your response. Pain will come. Loss will come. Criticism will come. How you respond defines your strength. Weak people complain. Strong people adapt. Strong people transform hardship into advantage. That's the key. Think about it. Survivors of disasters do not simply endure, they grow. They learn resilience, patience, and problem-solving under extreme stress. Entrepreneurs do not quit when markets crash, they innovate. Fighters do not collapse after losing rounds, they train harder. Obstacles aren't obstacles, they are opportunities. Use them. Grow stronger. Repeat it. You have a choice. You can let adversity break you, or you can turn it into strength. That's the key. Real-world examples of advantage through adversity. Consider the story of Thomas Edison. Thousands of failed experiments, every failure a potential excuse to quit, and yet he persisted. He used failure as feedback. Each setback brought him closer to invention. That's turning adversity into advantage. Look at Nelson Mandela. Decades in prison, stripped of freedom, humiliated. Most would have surrendered. He did not. He used hardship to build resilience, vision, and leadership. He turned adversity into power. Consider fighters like Muhammad Ali. Knocked down, underestimated, and injured, he never let adversity define him. He used every setback as fuel to come back stronger. Obstacles aren't obstacles, they are opportunities. Use them, grow stronger, repeat it. You have a choice. You can see adversity as a wall, or you can see it as a ladder. That's the key. How to turn setbacks into fuel. 1. Reframe the challenge. Every setback is an opportunity to learn. Ask, what can I gain from this? How will this make me stronger? Perspective transforms pain into power. 2. Extract lessons. Analyze failure brutally. What went wrong? What can you control next time? What must you change? Ignoring lessons ensures repetition of mistakes. 3. Take immediate action. Do not linger in regret. Use the energy of disappointment as momentum. Action is the weapon that converts adversity into advantage. You have a choice. You can wallow, or you can act. That's the key. Repetition builds mental resilience. Adversity will return. Life is relentless. Challenges never stop. The weak collapse each time. The strong use adversity as training. Repeat these phrases daily. Obstacles aren't obstacles, they are opportunities. Use them, grow stronger. Every setback contains fuel for growth. I use it, I grow stronger. Pain is my teacher. Difficulty is my mentor. I turn adversity into advantage. Repeat it in the morning, repeat it before a challenge, repeat it whenever hardship arises. Repetition creates mental resilience. Repetition transforms your mindset. Repetition builds a mind that cannot break. That's the key. Behavioral exercises for using adversity. 1. Daily reflection on challenges. Every evening, write down one obstacle you faced. Ask yourself, what lesson did this provide? How can I use it tomorrow? 2. Stress exposure training. Intentionally face minor challenges to train response under pressure. Cold showers, difficult conversations, time-limited tasks. Every controlled challenge strengthens your reaction to real adversity. 3. Energy conversion practice. Identify negative emotion caused by adversity, fear, anger, frustration. Immediately convert it into a productive action. For example, frustration from a failed project becomes extra hours of focused work. You have a choice. You can let adversity define you, or you can define yourself by how you handle adversity. That's the key. The mindset of advantage. Adversity is not an enemy. It is a teacher. It is a raw material. It is fuel for transformation. You do not need permission to grow stronger through pain. You do not need permission to use obstacles as ladders, not walls. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing discipline. It's not about escaping setbacks. It's about mastering the response. It's not about eliminating obstacles. It's about converting them into power. Repeat often, obstacles aren't obstacles. They are opportunities. Use them. Grow stronger. You have a choice. You can shrink or you can rise. That's the key. Chapter 10. Never break, never bow, never quit. Listen closely. This is the ultimate truth. Life will push you. People will oppose you. Circumstances will challenge you. Pain will hit. Failure will knock. The world will demand that you bend. Most people do. Most people give in. Most people quit. Not you. Not anymore. You have a choice. You can break or you can rise. That's the key. True mental toughness is persistence in action, clarity in purpose, and refusal to surrender. It is forged in every moment of discipline, every challenge faced, every fear confronted. It is not about strength in comfort. It is about resilience under fire. You do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever. Repeat it. You do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever.
Persistence in action. Persistence is the engine of success. It's showing up when no one sees. It's acting when energy is low. It's moving forward when the path is unclear. Motivation will fail you. Talent will fail you. Only relentless action endures. Think about fighters in the ring. Each punch, each bruise, each round test resolves. They persist. They move forward. They fight through exhaustion, pain, and doubt. That's persistence in action. That's mental toughness. That's the key. You have a choice. You can stop when it hurts, or you can push further. You can quit at the first sign of difficulty, or you can rise stronger. You do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever. Clarity in purpose. Strength without direction is wasted energy. Clarity in purpose aligns every thought, every decision, every action. Without purpose, discipline fades. Without purpose, resilience weakens. Legendary leaders like Winston Churchill did not bend because they had clarity. Every decision, every speech, every action was guided by unshakable purpose. Soldiers in battle act under immense pressure because their mission is clear. Purpose sustains when motivation disappears. Purpose drives when energy fails. You have a choice. You can wander without direction, or you can define your purpose and let it guide you relentlessly. That's the key. Refusal to surrender. Mental toughness is the refusal to surrender. It's standing tall when everything pushes you down. It's maintaining integrity under pressure. It's refusing to bow to fear, doubt, or intimidation. Think about Nelson Mandela. Decades in prison, constant pressure, unfathomable hardship. He did not surrender. He maintained purpose. He rose. He led a nation. Think about athletes like Kobe Bryant. Every injury, every setback, every loss, they never surrendered. They trained harder. They focused more. They refused to quit. You have a choice. You can surrender or you can refuse. You do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever. Repeat it. Repetition builds unbreakable resolve. Repetition is how toughness becomes permanent. You must repeat actions, words, and habits that reinforce resilience. Repeat these phrases constantly. You do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever. Pain is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Action is unstoppable. I persist. I act. I rise. I endure. Always. Say it every morning. Say it in the face of difficulty. Say it when you feel doubt. Neural pathways are formed by repetition. Repetition hardens mind and spirit. That's the key. Behavioral instructions for unbreakable mental toughness. 1. Daily stress exposure. Deliberately face challenges outside comfort zones. Cold showers, physical training, mental drills. Hard moments today prepare you for inevitable adversity tomorrow. 2. Immediate accountability. Own every success and failure. Do not blame, do not excuse. Learn, adjust, execute. Repeated accountability creates resilience. 3. Purpose alignment exercise. Every morning, write down your top 3 objectives for the day. Align every action to your purpose. Let clarity drive persistence. 4. Mantra reinforcement. Repeat aloud, I do not break, I do not bow. I do not quit. Ever. Reinforce identity through words. Reinforce action through thought. You have a choice. You can crumble under pressure, or you can rise. You can quit, or you can endure. You do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever.
Real-world examples of relentless resolve. Military leaders. They act with precision under extreme danger. They do not break. They do not bow. They do not quit. Ever. Entrepreneurs. They fail dozens of times before building empires. Rejection fuels them, not stops them. They do not break. They do not bow. They do not quit. Ever. Champions. Every loss becomes fuel. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every challenge strengthens resolve. They do not break. They do not bow. They do not quit. Ever. You have a choice. You can let circumstances define you, or you can define yourself by refusal to surrender. That's the key. The mindset of never breaking. Never breaking is not arrogance. Never breaking is not rigidity. It is discipline. It is preparation. It is mastery of mind, emotion, and action. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about thriving under it. It's not about escaping hardship. It's about using it to forge strength. It's not about eliminating challenges. It's about refusing to yield to them. Repeat often, you do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever. Internalize it. Let it guide every choice. Let it sharpen every response. Let it define your life. That's the key. Closing the audiobook. A final challenge. You've mastered fear. You've built emotional armor. You've embraced consistency. You've taken full accountability. You've turned adversity into an advantage. Now it is time to step into life with one unbreakable principle: persistence, clarity, refusal to surrender. You have a choice. You can walk away from challenges. You can give in to pressure. You can surrender to weakness. Or you can rise every time. You can endure every challenge. You can dominate every obstacle. You do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever. Repeat it until it becomes your identity. Repeat it until every fiber of your being aligns with it. Repeat it until nothing and no one can sway you. Stand up. Face life. Take what is yours. Dominate. Persist. Endure. Transform. That is mental toughness. That is unbreakable strength. That is your path. You do not break. You do not bow. You do not quit. Ever. This is the truth. The world will test you. Pressure will come. Doubt will whisper. Chaos will surround you. But now you know the strategies. You know to stop seeking validation, to embrace pressure, to build emotional armor, to act consistently, to take full accountability, and to turn adversity into strength. Your mind is your fortress. Every day you reinforce it. Every day you master it. Every day you refuse to break. So here is your challenge. Starting today, train your mind like a weapon. Face every fear. Crush every doubt. Dominate every challenge. Build a mind that cannot break, and live like no one else can. The choice is yours. Will you break or will you rise?